So you've got your first meeting with a potential client for your digital marketing agency, but what do you do beforehand? Do you sit and tremble in fear of the unknown, or do you prepare yourself? Probably a bit of both, but let's get into it. Now, we've all heard the term fail to prepare, prepare to fail, and it is true. You need to prepare for any meeting that you have in any business that you are running. Not doing so is just disrespecting the person that you are trying to pitch your product or your service to. But this is not something to be overthought. A lot of people, when they're first starting their digital marketing agency, overthink this massively and spend way too much time preparing for a meeting that may or may not go well. I want you to narrow down your meeting preparation to 10 to 15 minutes per meeting before you go in and close the shit out of your first ever client. So the first thing we need to think about is what is it we are actually doing in our meeting? What are we trying to achieve? Of course, we're trying to get a sale, we're trying to get a new customer, but how is this meeting going to go? Well, if you're following anything like my meeting strategy, you will have a discovery stage at the start of your meeting. You're going to find out as much as you possibly can about a business so you can use that information as leverage, as ammunition later on when it comes to actually pitching your product or your service. We're going to find out where that business is at the moment. What are their pain points? What are their aspirations and their dreams? We want to ignite that burning hunger inside them, that entrepreneurship spark, and get them excited about growing their business again. And as much as we are going to find out all of that information in the meeting, we can also find out quite a lot about them before we actually go in. And being prepared allows us to use that leverage before we even need it. So the first thing we want to find out about a business is what is their current marketing strategy? Are they actively advertising online at the moment? Are they using Facebook ads, Instagram ads? Are they offering a service that we want to provide to them, or are they doing it at a bad job and we can improve it? If so, how can we improve it? Are they spending money on other advertising platforms? Are they spending money in local newspapers, on the radio? If so, we can leverage the fact that they're already spending money and we know that they already have budget to spend and redistribute on us if we can convince them why they should. The second thing we want to establish is how well established are they? What are their reviews like? Do they have lots of customers? And we're trying to figure out, do we have an easy way to generate the money? How quickly can we generate the money? Because if they're a Facebook ad client, if they have existing customers and an existing customer list, for example, and happy customers at that, we can leverage that list and instantly get them return on investment because we have an existing customer base that we can use and sell to. The third and final thing we want to establish before a meeting is what can we actually do for them? Do we have any ideas? We need to get some kind of spark within us as well. We need to get pumped up about an angle to advertise them on. A new product, a new service, or something that we can shout about which is unique to them, which is going to set up their foundations within their industry online when it comes to advertising. So those are the three things we want to focus on. In fact, we can go through the theory as much as we want, but probably the easiest way to do this is by actually showing you. So let's jump on to the Mac for a moment. Let me just start Loom. And what I'm going to do, completely uncut, I don't know what kind of business to look at, but I want to do this as if it was like a completely cold business and I've never seen them before in my life. Okay, so industry. I'm a plant geek, so let's look at plants. See what we can find. So plants, have a look at a company. Let's just find someone and let's get this set up. So, okay, we can do this all day. Crocus, I've ordered from these guys before. So let's have a look at this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to re-qualify this person. Okay, we always want to make sure we re-qualify the business because just because they've been on our lead list once doesn't mean that some people haven't slipped through in there who aren't actually the right kind of client. So we need to make sure that they're very suitable for what we're trying to offer for them and that they're in a prime position for us to make the money. So here, Crocus is an online plant shop. Okay, we can buy flowers, we can buy indoor plants, we can buy all sorts. Okay, it's a really great shop. If you want some plants, go check them out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that these guys already have existing, what could we call this, Crocus? Crocus.co.uk or Crocus. They've got 204 reviews, 3 stars. It's not the best reviews in the world actually, but 204, I mean, it's not absolutely horrific. At least we know they've got existing customers. What about news? Have they got any, what I'd like to do is go on to some news, just see if there's any, so Crocus, they've got Daily Mail, they've got Yahoo, they've got the Telegraph, House beautiful. So they're paying the kind of press. We can almost guarantee that when they've got a lot of press, they're paying for some kind of press. So they're actively advertising at the moment. I think that's even the Times there as well. So they're paying for these promotional pieces in these magazines and these publications, and that's going to get them a lot of credibility and a lot of traffic. So they're actively trying to advertise. So the next thing we want to do is have a look at their advertising strategy online. I mean, we can see that their website and everything's good, but let's go on to their Facebook. Okay, we've got the socials. Let's go on Instagram and Facebook. So we've got their Instagram here, 31,000 followers. The engagement is a bit off. I would actually bet that these followers, actually some of these have been bought, but I mean, it's not the end of the world, it's just not ideal. This content there isn't great, so I can obviously pick up on the fact that we can start creating higher quality content for them. Cool. Let's go on Facebook, just log in there. Here we go. So they're posting content, are they running any ads? They're not running any ads at the moment. You guys are absolutely crazy. So obviously this is one of my biggest leverage points. So as I said, like what we need to do is we need to think about leverage points in this meeting. My biggest leverage point here is these guys are not running any ads, which is ludicrous for a company like this. They're getting existing traffic, they've got existing customers, they've got okay reviews. Same again for the fact that we can create higher quality content for them on their ads that they can probably repurpose as well. So I've got these leverage points. It's also now springtime at the time of recording this, so it's a great time for people to be buying products. I can imagine some really nice adverts where we're going through planting a bulb, but it's kind of like a timeline or a time lapse, of a plant growing. So it's a really nice time for people to be buying these kind of products. It's another thing I can push in this meeting. So this is the kind of prep I need to go for. Now, the next thing I want to try and do is find a competitor who is already doing what I want these guys to be doing, right? I need to find someone who's in their same industry who is, who's already doing a really good job. So we can use the law of comparison to compare them to their competitor, and they're going to think, do you know what? I am better than them, and it's going to push them to actually want to go ahead with your service so they can be on their level when it comes to advertising. So let's go back to online plants. Just see if, just trying to think which, there's a couple I know which are actually running ads at the moment. Let me just see if I can jog my memory what their name is. Something Farmer, I think it's called Farmer Gracie. Let me just have a look. But in any normal instance, you'd search on Google and would find someone. Yes, I've been on these guys before. Farmer Gracie. So Farmer Gracie are again, kind of bulb company, very, very, very similar company, right? These guys are doing pretty much the same thing. They've got articles online. I looked into these guys before. And if we go over to Facebook, we can go on there. Hang on, let's just do it on here. Farmer Gracie. And we're on their Facebook. I might be wrong here. That content can be better, but we're not pitching them, we're pitching Crocus, but we could pitch both. Yes, they are currently running ads. So these guys are already running ads. I could actually run through some of these ads. I want to write this down. So I'll be writing down normally all of these notes, okay? So I'm writing down Farmer Gracie, and I'll be taking note of the fact that these guys are already running ads. They're obviously profitable because they've got some ads running since November 2019. That's a very profitable ad. It's been running for 2 years now, so almost 2 years. So, yeah, this is what I would use. I would use this as leverage. I would write this name down, maybe even try and find another example if we want to. So we've got that as a backup. And we're now gaining those leverage points for the meeting because we can use this law of comparison to compare Crocus to Farmer Gracie and say, look, this is what these guys are doing. They're going to be generating a lot of traffic through to their website. And because of that, out of interest, yeah, these guys have got 2008 Google reviews, right? It's probably because they're getting so much more traffic onto their website. They're getting so many more customers through the door. Their reviews are a lot better. Their overall publicity is a lot better. And that is simply because they're driving traffic through to their website and they're generating sales. It's kind of the way that you want to explain it to your potential clients. So this is the research we're going to be doing. Super, super quick. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Don't overthink it. To spend 10 to 15 minutes, make sure you do that front load a bit of time investment, write down some notes, and then prepare yourself to jump in to the meeting. Let's jump back to the other camera. So this isn't really like some complex thing. You're spending 10, 15 minutes just refreshing yourself and finding out about this business, okay? You're trying to figure out as much as you can about them. You're trying to learn, are there any leverage points? Do they have existing customers? You're re-qualifying them, which is the most important thing, and you're going to write this down so you can use that in your meeting. But the most crucial part of your preparation is actually inside the meeting itself. It's the discovery stage. It's when we get through that initial bit of rapport building, we talk about the weather, we talk about their latest products, we talk about whatever. We jump into the nitty-gritty of how they're doing right now, where they want to get to, and what are the problems that are stopping them from getting to that position themselves. So what's point A that they're at right now? What's point be, which is where they want to be, and how can we help them get there. That's what really matters. We want to get that leverage and prepare at the start of that meeting, because we're preparing for us to be able to sell our product or our service later on by educating them on Facebook ads or talking about the return on investment we can get for them, and then of course giving them our price. Now that is the technical side of things, but what can you do personally to make your life easier before you're going into a meeting? Now, your first ever meeting or even your 5th or 10th ever meeting can be pretty daunting if you are new to sales. It's very important that you get yourself in the right frame of mind before you jump onto that Zoom call or enter the premises of your potential client. And so we need to make sure that we are pumping ourselves up, okay? We need to realize that if this all goes tits up, we haven't lost a single thing. Sales is a numbers game. We need to welcome no's, because every time that we get a no, we're going to learn something new. We're going to be able to use that and find out about ourselves, how we can improve our sales technique later on, and we can increase our conversion rate. It's perfectly okay to get no's when you're first starting out. You are going to get them, and that is the bottom line. So pump ourselves up and realize and reconfirm and reaffirm ourselves that getting a no is okay and we do not lose anything. So that way, we're not going to be afraid of that no. We also want to make sure we fill our body with a lot of oxygen. We clear our head of anything, okay? So do not be looking at our phones within a couple of minutes of the actual meeting itself. We don't want any distractions whatsoever, no arguments with your friends or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, okay? We want to make sure that our mind is completely clear. We just want to focus on the business itself. We've done that preparation by looking at the business. We are all consumed with this potential client, and that is the only thing we are thinking about when we are going into this meeting, okay? No distractions whatsoever. Clear our desk, clear whatever area we're in. We want to make sure that we don't have any noise distractions either, okay? So take yourself to a quiet place of your room with your laptop if you're doing a Zoom meeting, and just make sure you are in Zen mode and enjoy it, okay guys? Now, of course, we do dive into the preparation strategy in much greater detail in the Affluent Academy. If that interests you, then click the link in the description and sign up to our agency training program. Or if you want to schedule a call with Connor, who is one of our senior consultants, there's a link in the comments, and you can schedule a call with Connor and we can establish whether or not the Academy is a good fit for you and how we can help you scale or launch your agency to the levels that you want to reach. So that is how you prepare for social media marketing meetings. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you all very, very soon. Cheers.